We need to contribute arms, funding, ammunition, and the economic support to make their courage and sacrifice have purpose so they can continue this fight and do what they're doing. It's critical this funding gets approved and approved as quickly as possible.
President Joe Biden on the U.S. And Ukraine aid. He's asked for another $33 billion we don't have. Andrew Donaldson back on the line here with us this morning, writer and commentator about Biden speaking about Ukraine's fight against Russia days after the administration sent two top officials to Kyiv, where there was more rocket attacks and bombings there yesterday. Andrew, what's the scoop? Where do we stand right now? Morning.
It just wasn't a rocket attack. He was going after the UN Secretary General Guterres that was there. So a little bit of a message sending there. Two missiles hit Kyiv. Let's be adults. That wasn't accidental. That's sending a message. They like to provoke. And it's just part and parcel of what we've seen of this whole war. He can't win it, so we're going to agitate. We're going to destroy things. We're going to bow up like we're more important than we are. Meanwhile, his troops are dying by the thousands. And Ukraine is suffering greatly, but they're holding up pretty good, all things considered, for the last 60-odd days of war.
Andrew, what an inspiration! And you got this young man who's almost Vladimir Zelensky, the president there, almost Churchill-esque.
Yeah, he was a comedy actor that played the president. Can you imagine Jerry Seinfeld playing the president in a comedic role and then becoming, Churchill or FDR or one of these inspirational war leaders? It's really an amazing story. But think about it this way. We talk about how great a communicator Reagan was. Reagan was a radio guy at his core. He did the acting too, but he was really a radio voiceover guy. He learned how to communicate with his voice. He learned how to communicate through storytelling. And Zelensky, and he's brought some of his TV writers on board to help him with the propaganda campaign. He's really figured out that the way you do this thing is you tell a story. Vladimir Putin's propaganda operation, they're selling you an Amway product of tyranny and fascism. Zelensky's telling you an inspirational story. Those are two very different methods of doing things, and Zelensky's wiping the floor with them on the information war, but that's why. They're telling a story, a universal story, all the way as far back in human history, go through the Greek heroes, go all the way through our own mythology in America with the American Revolutionary. This kind of stuff resonates, and it's legend-building, myth-building stuff. And really, in a weird way, Vladimir Putin said the Ukrainian people didn't have an identity. They were all Russian. He's given them that identity. They're the people that stood up to Vladimir Putin.
Andrew Donaldson with us, writer and commentator. Don't diss Amway now. Great products. Let me tell you, what gets me, Andrew, is that when you talk about what the Russians are doing, they're lying through their teeth through everything. I just loved it when they said the other day, we had to go in there because of the threats on our border by Ukraine. Exactly what threats the hell are we talking about?
Threats to them getting what they want. I've gotten really, really tired of the narrative that Ukraine had this coming. Listen, we can talk about, NATO is not a perfect thing. Ukraine is not a perfect country. We're not a perfect country.
No
nation in the world deserves to be invaded and destroyed and their cities burned and their people pillaged the way Ukraine has been doing. So I don't want to hear any more of this. Ukraine's skirt was too short and Putin didn't have any choice to invade them. That's nonsense. That's a bald-faced lie.
Exactly.
He wants power. We sometimes compare this to the Soviet Union. It goes way back further than that. This is really the old Russian imperial empire stuff he's trying to build. That's why he's got the Orthodox Church involved in it. There's a spiritual side to this. This goes way, way deeper. This is hundreds of years of stuff of them wanting to put the Russian empire back together and putting it under the control of these oligarchs that run Russia. It's a country, but it's run like a criminal enterprise by a bunch of gangsters, and the chief gangster is Putin. And they didn't pay their protection fees, so now they're going to burn their shop and break their legs until they kick up their Kyiv. That's all this is. It's gangster stuff. But it's with a war. It's with nuclear weapons. It's with hundreds of thousands of troops. It's really, really ugly stuff, and it's evil. And Vladimir Putin's evil, and we need to call it that.
Isn't that the truth? And you wonder when the insurrection's going to start, the revolution, another revolution over there. You would think that the parents of all these thousands of kids that are getting killed might start a little protesting of their own.
Yeah, there's really interesting reporting coming out that almost none of the war dead are out of Moscow. Well, what's that telling you? Well, Russia's a huge place. It's 11 time zones. They're using conscripts. Yeah. They're using troops from other places. He does not want, and he really, really fears domestic unrest. Almost none of these war dead are out of Moscow. Why? They don't want those images in Moscow of unrest. They're scared to death of it. There's been more protests places like St. Petersburg, which are a little further out. He's scared of that. At some point, if the Russian people ever actually start trying to rise up, it'll be brutal. He'll crack down on them. But that's one thing Vladimir Putin really, really does fear, and he's told us through his actions over and over again through the years.
All right, Andrew, I sure do appreciate your take on this. Pleasure having you with us. Where do we go for more information?
You can find me at ordinary-times.com. I write there all the time. I contribute with Young Voices, 4 for the Fire. That's 4 with a numerical 4 on the Twitter. Love talking to you. Glad to be back with you. Let's do it again soon, my friend.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you're on Twitter. And it looks like you're going to stay now. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
God bless.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a great weekend. All right, sir. Andrew Donaldson, a writer and commentator with Ordinary Times. Since 2018. Boy, erudite comments from Andrew. 7:31 at News Radio 97.7 and 1290 WTKS.